The subconscious mind. Can you tell me how much water, how much salt, how much of each different element there should be in your blood to maintain its proper specific gravity if you are leading an ordinary sedentary life? How much and how quickly these proportions must be changed if you play a fast game of tennis, or run for your car, or chop wood, or indulge in any other exercise? Do you know how much water you should drink to neutralize the excess salt in saltfish? How much you lose through perspiration? Do you know how much water, how much salt, how much of each different element in your food should be absorbed in your blood each day to maintain perfect health? No. Well, it need not worry you. Neither does anyone else. Not even the greatest physicists and chemists and mathematicians. But your subconscious mind knows, and it doesn't have to stop to figure it out. It does it almost automatically. It is one of those lightning calculators, and this is but one of thousands of such jobs it performs every hour of the day. The greatest mathematicians in the land, the most renowned chemists, could never do in a year's time the abstruse problems which your subconscious mind solves every minute. And it doesn't matter whether you've ever studied mathematics or chemistry or any other of the sciences. From the moment of your birth, your subconscious mind solves all these problems for you. While you are struggling along with the 3 R's, it is doing problems that would leave your teachers aghast. It supervises all the intricate processes of digestion, of assimilation, of elimination, and all the glandular secretions that would tax the knowledge of all the chemists and all the laboratories in the land. It planned and built your body from infancy on up. It repairs it. It operates it. It has almost unlimited power, not merely for putting you and keeping you in perfect health, but for acquiring all the good things of life. Ignorance of this power is the sole reason for all the failures in this world. If you would intelligently turn over to this wonderful power all your business and personal affairs in the same way that you turn over to it the mechanism of your body, no goal would be too great for you to strive for. Dr. Geo C. Pitzer sums up the power of your subconscious mind very well in the following. The subconscious mind is a distinct entity. It occupies the whole human body, and when not opposed in any way, it has absolute control over all the functions, conditions, and sensations of the body. While the objective, conscious mind has control over all of our voluntary functions and motions, the subconscious mind controls all of the silent, involuntary, and vegetative functions, nutrition, waste, all secretions and excretions, the action of the heart in the circulation of the blood, the lungs in respiration or breathing, and all cell life, cell changes, and development are positively under the complete control of the subconscious mind. This was the only mind animal had before the evolution of the brain, and it could not, nor can it yet, reason inductively. But its power of deductive reasoning is perfect, and more, it can see without the use of physical eyes. It perceives by intuition. It has the power to communicate with others without the aid of ordinary physical means. It can read the thoughts of others. It receives intelligence and transmits it to people at a distance. Distance offers no resistance against the successful missions of the subconscious mind. It never dies. We call this the soul mind. It is the living soul. In Practical Psychology and Sex Life by David Bush, Dr. Win Bigler is quoted as going even further. It is this mind that carries on the work of assimilation and upbuilding whilst we sleep. It reveals to us things that the conscious mind has no conception of until the consummations have occurred. It can communicate with other minds without the ordinary physical means. It gets glimpses of things that ordinary sight does not behold. It makes God's presence an actual, realizable fact and keeps the personality in peace and quietness. It warns of approaching danger. It approves or disapproves of a course of conduct and conversation. It carries out all the best things which are given to it, providing the conscious mind does not intercept and change the course of its manifestation. It heals the body and keeps it in health, if it is at all encouraged. It is, in short, the most powerful force in life, and when properly directed, the most beneficent. But, like a live electric wire, its destructive force is equally great. It can be either your servant or your master. It can bring you to evil or good. The Reverend William T. Walsh, in a new book just published, explains the idea very clearly. The subconscious part in us is called the subjective mind because it does not decide and command. It is a subject rather than a ruler. Its nature is to do what it is told, or what really, in your heart of hearts, you desire. Man lives and moves and has his being in this great subconscious mind. It supplies the intuition that so often carries a woman straight to a point that may require hours of cumbersome reasoning for a man to reach. Even in ordinary everyday affairs, you often draw upon its wonderful wisdom. Consider the case of Blind Tom. Probably you've heard or read of him. You know that he could listen to a piece of music for the first time and go immediately to a piano and reproduce it. People call that abnormal, but as a matter of fact, he was, in this respect, more normal than any of us. We are abnormal because we cannot do it. The smartest man in the world, says Dr. Frank Crane in a recent article in Liberty, is the man inside. By the man inside, I mean that other man within each one of us that does most of the things we give ourselves credit for doing. You may refer to him as nature or the subconscious self, or think of him merely as a force or a natural law, or, if you are religiously inclined, you may use the term God. Most of our happiness, as well as our struggles and misery, come from this man inside. If we train him in ways of contentment, adjustment, and decision, he will go ahead of us like a well-trained servant and do for us easily most of the difficult tasks we have to perform. You see, the subconscious mind is the connecting link between the Creator and us, between universal mind and our conscious mind. It is the means by which we can appropriate to ourselves all the good gifts, all the riches and abundance that universal mind has created in such profusion. The geniuses of art, literature, inventions are, according to scientists, but ordinary men like you and me who have learned somehow, some way to draw upon their subconscious minds. To quote Dr. Hudson, this is a power which transcends reason and is independent of induction. Enough is known to warrant the conclusion that when the soul is released from its objective environment, it will be enabled to perceive all the laws of its being, to see God as He is, by the perception of the laws which He has instituted. It is the knowledge of this power which demonstrates our true relationship to God, which confers the warranty of our right to the title of sons and daughters of God, and confirms our inheritance of our rightful share of His attributes and powers, our heirship of God, our joint heirship with Jesus Christ. Our subconscious minds are vast magnets with the power to draw from universal mind unlimited knowledge, unlimited power, and unlimited riches. Observe then the possibility that lies before you. On the one hand, if you can control your mind in its subconscious activities, you can regulate the operation of your bodily functions and can thus assure yourself of bodily efficiency and free yourself of functional disease. On the other hand, if you can determine just what ideas shall be brought forth from subconsciousness into consciousness, you can thus select the materials out of which will be woven your conscious judgments, your decisions, and your emotional attitudes. To achieve control of your mind is to attain health, success, and happiness. Few understand or appreciate, however, that the vast storehouse of knowledge and power of the subconscious mind can be drawn upon at will, now and then through intense concentration or very active desire. We do accidentally penetrate to the realm of the subconscious and register our thought upon it. Such thoughts are almost invariably realized. The trouble is that as often as not, it is our negative thoughts, our fears, that penetrate, and these are realized just as surely as the positive thoughts. What you must manage to do is learn to communicate only such thoughts as you wish to see realized to your subconscious mind, for it is exceedingly amenable to suggestion. You have heard of the man who was always bragging of his fine health, and upon whom some of his friends decided to play a trick. The first one he met one morning commented upon how badly he looked and asked if he weren't feeling very well. Then all the others, as they saw him, made similar remarks. By noontime, the man had come to believe them, and before the end of the day, he was really ill. That was rather a glaring example, but similar things are going on every day with all of us. We eat something that someone else tells us isn't good for us, and in a little while we think we feel a pain. Before we know it, we have indigestion, when the chances are that if we knew nothing about the supposed indigestible properties of the food, we could eat it the rest of our days and never feel any ill effects. Let some new disease be discovered and the symptoms described in the daily paper. Hundreds will come down with it at once. They are like the man who read a medical encyclopedia and ended up by concluding he had everything but a housemaid's knee. Patent medicine advertisers realize this power of suggestion and cash in upon it. Read one of their ads. If you don't think you have everything the matter with you that their nostrums are supposed to cure, you are the exception and not the rule. That is the negative side of it. Emile Coué based his system on the positive side, which you suggest to your subconscious mind that whatever ills it thinks you have are getting better. And it is a good psychology at that. Properly carried out, it will work wonders. Suffice it now to say that your subconscious mind is exceedingly wise and powerful, that it knows many things that is not in books. Under ordinary conditions, it attends faithfully to its duties and leaves your conscious mind to direct the outer life of the body. But let the conscious mind meet some situation with which it is unable to cope, and if it will only call upon the subconscious, that powerful genie will respond immediately to its needs. You have heard of people who had been through great danger tell, when death stared them in the face and there seemed nothing they could do, things went black before them, and when they came to, the danger was past. In the moment of need, their subconscious mind pushed the conscious mind out of the way while it met and overcame the danger. Impelled by the subconscious mind, their bodies could do things absolutely impossible to their ordinary conscious selves. For the power of the subconscious mind is unlimited. Whatever it is necessary for you to do in any right cause, it can give you the strength and the ability to do it. Whatever of good you may desire, it can bring to you. The kingdom of heaven is within you.